Hey everyone, welcome back to Clutch Situation. The goal of the video today is for us to do an overview of the Staedtler 925 series of mechanical pencils, which are a drafting series that Staedtler has been producing for quite some time. And these are great pencils that a lot of people swear by. And one of the questions that we want to answer, I think, in this video is, why isn't the Staedtler 925 a classic drafting pencil, a great drafting pencil? Why is that not in your top 10? And that's a question that I'm more than willing to answer here because it is amongst a lot of users' frequently asked questions. And I think now that I have really received many of the models of Staedtler pencils that I'm prepared to collect given cost, I want to give you an opportunity as the viewers to understand what's out there, but also understand why I've made certain decisions for how I approach these pencils. And so you can see in front of you all the Staedtler pencils that I own, and it is the lion's share of the 7 flavors of Staedtler pencils that exist out there. And so I want to go through them one by one, but what we're going to start off with, I'm just going to move them all to the side here so that we can get some of the text in. And one of the things that I've been trying to do recently on the channel is to do a little bit of prep work for the videos so that I have some things already written down. And so what this is what all Staedtler 925 series pencils have in common. They are all drafting pencils with a 4mm lead sleeve. They all have standard Mars Micro eraser compound, which a lot of people really like the Mars Micro plastic erasers. They all have brass clutches, they all have metal pocket clips, and they all, to my knowledge, have hardness indicators. I don't think that I've seen a single 925 series pencil that does not have a hardness indicator. But, you know, as always, if you have some more information, go ahead and throw that down in the comments. They also all have a distinctive styling, the way that the body is styled, the way that the eraser caps are styled. There's no better example of that, I think, than the classic 925 series, which in this particular case is the silver series, with a very distinctive knurling that is unique to Staedtler pencils. The positioning of the lead hardness indicator can vary on the pencil, but in terms of the extent to which the cone of the pencil tapers down to the lead sleeve, especially the styling of the eraser cover is very distinctive to Staedtler pencils. And almost always there will be a number indicating the lead size on the end of the eraser cap. And so those are what all these 925 series pencils have in common. And so now that we have the basics out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the 7 flavors of 925 pencils that exist out there. And there is a naming convention for this. And this is not all the information that I'm going to show for you about each of these different pencils. This is just a beginning place for me so that I don't have to write as much and can just add little things as we go along. The naming convention for all 925 series pencils is that they all start with 925, obviously, but then there will be either no digits or 2 digits afterwards that sort of indicates the model number within the series. And then you'll notice after each of these, they all are ending in XX. And many of you who follow mechanical pencils know Pentel does this with their mechanical pencils. The last 2 digits of the model for a particular mechanical pencil will usually be 03, 05, 07, 09, indicating in those cases that those are 0.3, 0.5, 0.7, 0.9 lead size, respectively. And there are additional lead sizes that I do want to talk about for these pencils, and so I'll add that information as we go. So let's start out with probably the easiest Staedtler pencil to come across, and that's the 925 basic pencil. The 05 in this example indicates the lead size, and then if I rotate the lead hardness indicator, in this case it goes from 2B all the way through 3H. And so I'm going to set this one where it should be, which is at HB. This is a lower end 925 series pencil. The majority of the pencil is plastic. However, it still has the brass clutch of Staedtler 925 lines. And this one is a little bit different in that it has a rubberized grip, but you'll notice that the styling of the rubberized grip follows the styling of the knurling on other pencils in the Staedtler 925 series. Similar, very sturdy pocket clip. which if we can get it to show up in the video, okay, I'm going to try to refocus there. There we go. There's a little, what looks like to me like a Roman legionnaire, as sort of like the symbol of Staedtler pencils, and it's a little more downplayed on this 925 pencil than it is on some of the other ones. Here we go. It's easier to see on the Color Series pencil, and so there's like a little Roman legionnaire as the symbol of Staedtler pencils that is present on that. So this is the very basic Staedtler 925 series pencils that you can get. You can get these at Blick Art Supply. You can get these at Office Max or Office Depot. You can get them at Staples. You can get them at a lot of office supply stores. Michaels sells them. So a lot of craft stores will sell them. And if you're just looking to get into the feel of a Staedtler pencil, now rubberized grip aside, this is going to help you out. Now let's just go ahead and notice how this eraser cap is a little bit more minimalist compared to the other ones. Okay, it's basically just a cylinder here, but it does have the 0.5 on it. If we compare that to the Silver series, it is a more distinctive eraser cap. So there are some subtle differences between each of these pencils. Mars Micro Eraser comes with a lead clearing rod, okay? So if some of you are looking, you can't find a needle that fits a particular pencil and you're working with a very difficult jam, Staedtler mechanical pencils tend to come with a clearing rod, and so if you're looking for a clearing rod that will fit a particular lead size, a Staedtler pencil might be a way for you to increase your collection while at the same time getting a decent clearing rod. The 925XX model comes in 0.3, 0.5, 0.7, 0.9. All of these are available at the stores that I mentioned. They're also available from Jet Pens. You can also get 1.3 millimeter and 2.0 from Japan. And I'm not saying that those aren't not available. They could be available from Amazon here too, but the point is that 1.3 and 2.0 are not marketed here in the United States. They're constructed and marketed for the Japanese market. So there we go, 925XX. Move that out of the way. Moving right along, this is a brand new series, or a brand new addition, I should say, in the 925 series, and that is the Staedtler 92515. So notice how we're continuing with our naming convention here. We have 9251505, indicating that the model is the 92515 and that this is a 0.5 millimeter pencil. This eraser cover is a little bit more distinct compared to most Staedtler pencils. It says 0.5, that this is indicating the lead size, but to meet safety regulations, it has the hole in the cap, that if a child were to swallow this, there's a hole in the cap preventing them from choking. But once again, it's just a little cylinder with that hole in the cap, very different from some of the other eraser caps for Staedtler models. We have a much more sturdy, it looks like to me, lead jam clearer here. Mars Micro Eraser. Sturdy pocket clip. It's going to be difficult to see this on the video, but we have the little Roman Legionnaire here at the end. And once again, this is a plastic rubberized grip. Lead hardness indicator. What sets the 92515 apart from the 925 is that it is, in my opinion, an upgrade in that it's a leaner use of the plastic materials of the injection molding, so it's a lot more lightweight. If you were looking for a really lightweight Staedtler mechanical pencil, the 92515 is the way for you to go. So, there we go. Oh, lead sizes. So the 92515, I've only been able to, in my researches, find 0.3, 0.5, 0.7, 0.9. Here in the United States, most readily available at Tokyo Pen Shop and Jet Pens. So check those out. Okay, I recommend that you try to go through a small business. $8. on Tokyo Pen Shop or Jet Pens. You know, I think a really solid value for what it is if you're looking for more economy in your pencil choice. But one thing that I want to mention, the sort of Rolls-Royce, or maybe not Rolls-Royce, more like the classic Staedtler 925 series pencil, the 925-25, the silver series, has really come down in price. And you can get these for a lot less, but they're available at a wide variety of retailers. They're available, yeah, at Amazon, but also Tokyo Pen Shop and Jet Pens, and I'd recommend that you go through a small business before you go through major clearinghouse. So let's go ahead and get to the silver series. This is the classic 925-25 drafting pencil. We have the naming convention. Mine is in 0.3 millimeter. I often prefer to get those small lead sizes in more of a drafting style. What's interesting about the 925-25 is that it can also come in a variety of different limited editions, and I'll get to that in a second, but let's see what sort of lead sizes this pencil comes in. And I just refilled this, so I got to do a little bit of lead advancement in order to get the 0.3 millimeter to come out. Gravity feed mechanism. I feel like it's caught it. There we go. Okay, so the 925-25, the silver series, comes in 0.3, 0.5, 0.35. Now, German pencils, like rote ring pencils, have tended to come in 0.35 millimeter, but 0.3 and 0.35, there's so little of a difference between the thickness of the lead that they are interchangeable almost always. 0.7, 0.9, since this is a high production model, 1.3 and 2.0, it also comes in. And 925-25 silver series is the most ubiquitous out of all of the 925 series drafting pencils. But we do have some limited editions, and I haven't looked up all the limited editions. There's a new limited edition that came out of Japan that is a nice blood red color. They have blue. They have 925-25s, I think, in black now. But I jumped on this when I saw it, and these are already so expensive, folks. So if I'm just teasing you here, that's not my intention. Here is my brand spanking new Staedtler 925-25 series pencil in green and gold, which is auspicious for me because I am a Green Bay Packers fan. And so it not only works out for me in terms of my sports team affiliation, but I also want to point out that this pencil, based upon my research, it's called the Kinokuniya Kansai pencil. And some research that I've done on not the best sources, eBay, okay, seems to associate this pencil with the Bromeliad Society of Japan. And if you're not up on your monocots and dicots, bromeliads are a grouping of monocot flowering plants. Very beautiful, okay, often found in tropical areas. And as far as I can tell, the Bromeliad Society of Japan is somehow connected to this pencil. Okay, on the cap here, and this is true of limited editions for Staedtler pencil, it has the Roman Legionnaire, and it says Staedtler limited edition on it. Okay, if we take off the eraser cap, this is more the classic eraser cap for the 925 series. Nice Mars Micro compound eraser with a lead jam clearer. Okay, this is a beautiful pencil. I bought it for, I think, $40, because anybody who views the channel knows that I love green. One of my favorite colors for the various reasons. I'm an ecologist too, and so as an ecologist, forest green really speaks to me. Earth tones really speak to me. I don't know if the ship has sailed for you on this, because these tend to be really limited editions, and I bought it for $40. And it was sent to me from South Korea, but I'm already seeing these in the $80 to $120 range. You know, so do some researches. Hopefully you can score a deal on one of these limited edition 925 series, but I am just tickled that I was able to snag this one and was basically in the right place at the right time and noticed that it was a thing. Most limited edition 925-25 series pencils seem to only come in 0.5 millimeter. So keep that in mind. Now, speaking of model numbers, what I find really interesting about this is that there is another 925 series pencil that is virtually indistinguishable I can't figure out a difference between the 92525, and that is the 92535. Now, the 92535 is called the Midnight Blue series, and you can see it's a very rich midnight sort of navy blue. As far as I can tell, it's the same as the 92525 series, but as a production run, they've decided to give it a different model number to sort of distinguish it, but also indicate that it is a regular part of their lineup. Mine is in 0.9 millimeter. I've come to appreciate 0.9 millimeter a lot more recently. The Midnight Blue series, once again, as far as I can tell from my researches, 0.35, 0.5, 0.7, 0.9. I don't see it anywhere in 1.3, but I definitely see it in 2.0. The Midnight Blue series is available on jet pens. And so if you're a collector and you're looking for a really snazzy looking 925 series pencil, I recommend that you check out the Midnight Blue series. Next, the 92565XX usually comes in black, and black 0.3, 0.5, 0.7, 0.9. You'll probably notice that this is not black. This is a carrot orange pencil. And this color series for the 92565XX came out recently. The 92565 is an injection molded pencil, sort of a thicker injection mold than the 92515 series. The grip is just plastic, similar to the Pentel Sharp series. The color series only comes in 0.5 millimeter, and it is available, well, should be available. I think these are also a somewhat of a limited edition, or it takes a while for them to restock them. They come in lime green, carrot orange, sky blue, and Margaret pink, which is sort of a redder pink. So this is the carrot orange version of it. I mean, some people would argue, well, you know, just kind of an orangey yellow. I get it. Okay. Based upon my the research that I did, I think it also came in a marshmallow white, but it's sold out super fast and is no longer available. So check out the 92565. Whether the color series or the standard black. In terms of cost, so 925XX will run you, I would say, $6 or $7 at a retail store, which makes the 92515, if you're looking for a lighter pencil, a much better buy at $8 from Jet Pens or Tokyo Pen Shop. 92525 and 92535, the prices have been coming down for this tremendously. They're still listed on a lot of sites at full retail. Jet Pens and Tokyo Pen Shops will list them at full price, and I'd encourage you to support small businesses. But you can also find them for a lot cheaper on Amazon or other large clearinghouses. The color series is also pretty inexpensive as well. I think the color series is somewhere in the $6 to $10 range. Okay, and then last but certainly not least, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't have anything to show you because these are kind of the holy grails right here. Okay, let me just adjust the camera a little bit. There we go. So the 92585 and the 92595 are both out of production. They're very difficult to find. They are pretty much collector's items in the mechanical pencil world, and I kind of find it a little bit of a stretch for me to invest in them, given that pencils are also a functional piece for me. The Regulator is a famous Staedtler pencil that, like the Oto Promeco series, which I think that the Oto Promeco series was largely inspired by the Regulator. The Regulator allowed you to change a variety of aspects of how your pencil performed, like how much lead was pushed out on a click, how long the lead sleeve was, things like that. The 92595, I think that the key distinction, based upon what I've been reading online, is that the 92595 is more of a total all-metal construction. It had the advanced control of the Regulator, but I think it may have sacrificed some of the other differences, like length of extension of the lead sleeve. Don't quote me on that. If some of you who are fans of the 925 series have a little bit more information about the 9.5, there isn't a ton of it out there, especially since Kiwi D took down his mechanical pencil blog, happened a little over a year ago, and that was a huge resource online for pencils. I'm sure the regulator was featured on his site for sure. So these two are out of production. They go in the $150 to $250 range. Kind of ridiculous. But that's kind of the holy grail of Staedtler mechanical pencils. So now let's get to the question that I posed, the frequently asked question at the beginning of the video, which was, why isn't the Staedtler 925 series, or some of these, I mean, particularly the silver series, which is the most well-known and well-established out of all the Staedtler mechanical pencils, why isn't it on your top 10? Isn't it a great pencil? It is a great pencil. My rationale for not putting it on the top 10 is that when I write my top 10, I kind of want it to be an extension of what I value in mechanical pencils. I mean, go back to one video before this one was my most recent top 10 video, and I go through an extensive list of what I value in mechanical pencils. Too long didn't watch. Basically, it's the construction, the quality, the features, the weight, the variety within a particular pencil, and then I sort of added this idea of frequency of use. Cost to some extent as well, of course, and so cost is the big killer for me for the regulator and for the higher model numbers of the 925 series. But I don't want a top 10 that just has a ton of repeats. And so for me, since the Rotring 600 is my top mechanical pencil and basically does a lot of what the Staedtler 925 Silver Series does, but with a preferred grip for me, and a preferred body balance for me, I didn't feel like the Staedtler 925 inclusion on the top 10 list was adding anything other than repetition. And so the 92525 is featured in my 7 Great Drafting Pencils video, and I'm doing a whole video on the series here to help viewers to understand what's available out there. But for those of you who are curious as to why the 92525 Silver Series does not make my top 10 list, well, there you go. And you can like that response or you can not. That's entirely up to you. But that's where I'm coming from on this. And so I hope you enjoyed this video of the Staedtler 925 series. It's a great series of mechanical pencils that has a wonderful history within the drafting pencil world. And I have a lot of cool stuff coming up on the channel. The next video is probably going to be an EDC video in which I was sent a wallet by a leather manufacturer. And I know that there is an EDC audience here. And so I'm going to throw you a bone in the next video. And it is a sponsored video. They sent me a wallet and I'm going to review it. But I've been looking for a wallet actually, but I'll talk more about that in the next video. And so thanks for watching this review of the Staedtler 925 series, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you on the flip.